Live from 6 News, the station on your side. This is The 7.
Good evening. I'm Don Hudson, and welcome to The 7. Let's get a look at the big 7 stories right now. Topping the list, we're hearing tonight from the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency about the boating advisory for Douglas Reservoir. Now, it's now been extended to the entire lake, with debris from Helene still posing a threat. Now, remember, since the storm, wildlife agents and environmental regulators have been warning the public that the floodwaters heading downstream carry with them a mysterious, really grab bag of potentially dangerous or even toxic items. Several times we have shown you the debris patch at Douglas Lake, said to be basically a square mile in size. Well, now TWRA tells us that the lake itself is clearing up, some material sinking to the bottom, more and more of the debris washing ashore. And as the lake levels are drawn down heading into the winter months, that debris is going to be staying there. TWRA spokesperson Matt Cameron says the threat to boaters may be dropping, but they're still urging people to avoid touching the water.
Long story short is, if you go to Douglas Lake and you go boating, just be cautious, operate at safe speeds, be on a proper lookout for floating debris. And we just don't encourage people to go fishing and to have contact with the water, and furthermore, not to catch and eat a fish out of Douglas Lake right now until we get a better feel of, how has this affected the quality of the fish.
Another challenge on the water, a huge man-made obstacle, something the TVA, of course, calls a boom. They use always when there's an oil spill or, like in this case, a bunch of debris to catch it. It's a mile-long floating barricade set up just above Dandridge. Boats can't cross it, and TWRA wants people to just steer clear of it altogether. This, too, will be in place until further notice. No timetable. Well, a generous donation by the Queen of Sevier County is helping people who lost their homes after Helene. If you or someone you know needs help, the deadline to apply for some help is coming up in just about 2 weeks. Nonprofit Mountain Ways says it's able to help flood victims who lost their primary residence thanks to $2 million from Dolly Parton, the Dollywood Foundation, and several of Dolly Parton's businesses. Back on October 4th, we took you to the big announcement. The music superstar made a stop in Cott County to share the news. Now, Mountain Ways says people can apply through Monday, November 4th, if they lost 100% of their home. They will accept applications from people in Tennessee and Western North Carolina. Now, in Tennessee, the counties are Carter, Cocke, Greene, Hamlin, Hawkins, Johnson, Unicoi, and Washington counties. According to the nonprofit's website, Mountain Ways says it will provide a combination of financial support, food, shelter, and transportation. Its leadership team will begin reviewing applications following the November 4th deadline. Once a decision is made, the applicants will be notified of their status and given additional instructions on the next steps to get help. The Small Business Administration is also offering disaster loans to Tennesseans affected by Helene. We are told disaster loans of up to $500,000 are available to homeowners to repair or replace their real estate. Homeowners and renters are also eligible for up to $100,000 to repair or replace personal property. These are long-term, low-interest loans, and FEMA says you do not have to wait to settle with your insurance company before applying for a disaster loan through the SBA. More disaster recovery centers opening in Helene's wake as well. FEMA says one center opened at the Greene County Courthouse today. Tomorrow, another center will open in Hamlin County, specifically at the Utility Commission Conference and Training Center. Our main street, that's on Main Street, I should say, in Morristown. You can go to each of these locations for help applying for federal disaster relief. All right, the deadline to apply for that federal disaster assistance, December 2nd. To do so, you can do it online. You head there online. You can also call the FEMA helpline, 800-621-3362. Now to another way that you can give back in Helene's wake. But the offer goes beyond what we've seen in other relief drives with other long-term needs. Westgate Smoky Mountain Resort and the organization Where the Needs Lead Us working together. Westgate opening up its warehouse in Cosby to people in the disaster zone, along with the usual essentials, clothes, food, cleaning supplies, diapers. The resort is also offering furniture and potentially a job.
I'm sure there's people without jobs that need a job, and we're going to be there to provide all that. It's very gratifying, but it's also bittersweet.
Westgate says it will have hiring managers on site to conduct interviews for job openings at the Gatlinburg Resort. The resource fair is happening Thursday from 10 until 2 at the Westgate Resort's warehouse on Cosby Highway. Just be sure to bring some form of ID with you. We're learning a 43-year-old man has been charged with domestic assault after an alleged incident with his mother and a standoff with sheriff's deputies. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office says that they were called to Doane Road in New Market about 6 o'clock yesterday evening. I went there after receiving a call about a domestic violence issue involving a firearm. Once they arrived, they found the victim, who said her adult son was threatening her with a gun. Deputies made contact with the suspect, Joshua Mumford, who was still in the house. Deputies say Mumford threatened to actually shoot at them. Then the report says deputies thought they heard gunfire from within the house, so they created a perimeter and attempted to wait him out. About 9 o'clock last night, Mumford refused to talk, prompting the deputies to deploy tear gas. Shortly after that, Mumford surrendered and was taken into custody. Again, charged with aggravated domestic assault, and he's being held in the Jefferson County Detention Center without bond. Here at 6 News, we are your local election headquarters. The early voting period is off to a strong start across Knox County. Yesterday alone, the first Monday of the 2-week period, saw more than 12,000 voters casting their ballots. Now, the most popular voting location was the downtown West in West Knoxville. The other location that really had a lot of people was in Farragut as well. Saw long lines there to go along with that as well. 12,000 voters casting their ballots yesterday, 12,009 to be exact. And the early voting totals, more than 54,000. Absentee votes, 4,500. Boy, it is a lot. All right, those total numbers, again, comparing to other things. Right now, we are looking live at breaking news, some type of issue. We're going to listen to what the sheriff has to say.
If we have any more information tonight and we learn anything, then I'll hold a press conference to let everybody know what's going on.
Are you able to speak about how this body was discovered? I know we're here in sort of a recreational area in a neighborhood.
It's a trail that some of the, I guess you'd say, the local kids use to go back and forth to Weigels and what have you. So it's known around here by the kids and obviously the parents as well. So,
did a kid make that discovery?
We're not sure if there was 2 individuals that did. So I'm just going to leave it at that for right now.
Can you speak to really just sort of the overall oddity of this setting? Really, like I think it's a place that I think a lot of folks feel safe at, and for a discovery like this, I'm sure it's shocking to a lot of people.
And I'm sure that it is. Any time that something like this happens, it's going to be shocking, and people are going to start worrying, is it a safe place or not? And obviously, you know, we're saying or at least hoping that it's an isolated incident, but we're going to investigate it until at least until we end up charging somebody, if that's the way it comes out.
And again, I know you're investigating this still, early stages.
Yeah.
Do we believe this is a homicide investigation?
Again, the preliminaries, we're looking at everything right now. So, like I said, I'll hold that press conference as soon as we get more information this evening.
And are you able to kind of talk on how the body was found in terms of like where it was in the trail and things like that?
It was just in the trail, and like I said, the caller called in and said they found a body on the trail, and obviously that's where it was on the trail. So that's all that we have right now, and in doing the things that we're doing as far as following any leads that we have, those men and women behind me, as you saw all of them back there, this is something we want to make sure that we make a good ending to. Is if you can make it a good ending, but at least to the family and let them know that we have closure or what have you. So they're working on it diligently, and we'll continue to do so.
And I know, like you said, you're still in the early stages of the investigation. Is there anything the public should be worried about regarding this, or do you believe it's done?
I think it's an isolated incident. I don't think the public has anything that they need to be worried about. Obviously, they're going to, but we need to at least rest assured with them that I don't think they have anything to worry about right now.
Sheriff, reiterate to them about if new developments come about in the middle of the night that you will hold a press conference.
Yes, whatever time it is, if we come up with something, we will hold a press conference to get you that information.
Do you have any sort of leads on a person of interest if it is that avenue at this point?
Not at this point.
Thank you, Sheriff.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
All right, we have been listening to Knox County Sheriff Tom Spangler. He is talking about a body that was found on a trail in the north part of Knox County. He alluded to 2 people discovering it. As far as being an isolated incident or something that everyone should be afraid of, he's calling it an isolated incident. He would not call it a homicide when he was asked, just saying that a body has been found. Of course, we're going to continue asking questions. They're going to continue investigating. And as you heard him say, as soon as he gets more information, even if it's late tonight, we'll get that information and pass it on to you on the news at 11 o'clock and also online at WATE.com.